Hey guys, Cobra here. Welcome to another Ratio Alliance video. Guys, this one I'll be showing you guys all my nukers that I have on my account and basically rating them from the least used maybe to the most used. And you guys know maybe who is my most used champion, but we'll just go through all of my nukers and just see who I have and who I'm missing. Well, actually, let's go over who I'm missing right now because it's pretty much a few of them in terms of normal champions. So one of them is, of course, Foley. I haven't picked up Foley just yet. In terms of nuking, I'm talking about Arena, guys, by the way. Just nukers for Arena. Foley is just a great champion. I would love to have him. Actually, when I first started playing the game, I think a couple of months after I started playing the game, this guy was actually a fusion champion. So he was a fusion champion. You could pick him up, but at that time, I was pretty much free to play. I think I've spent about 10 euros, so $10 or so in the months that I was playing. I wasn't doing YouTube or anything. Really, I was maybe doing a video a month or something at the time. And the Foley Fusion was up. There was a big kind of controversy with Foley because they made it kind of a pay to win in the end. And, and the cat almost tear down the green screen. So they made it almost like a pay to win in the end. So I missed out on Foley, unfortunately. But in terms of other nuker champions, I do have them, and we'll go through them in a bit, actually showing you them in Arena and what they can do. In terms of other nuker champions, I would say that Hegemon is one of the nuking champions that I would love to have. Hegemon always gets the first turn in there and does this big nuke ability that also decreases attack and block cooldown skills. So if you build him as a nuker champion, he actually does significant amount of damage if the enemy team doesn't have shields. So if they do have shields, you're pretty much not gonna go through them unless your hedgies are quite end game build. And then I think the other one that I might be missing, well, maybe the Shadowkins, but honestly, they're not as important as all the other champions. And Kutraxa as a single target champion, but me personally considering a nuker champion is a champion that can actually nuke as an AoE. That's what makes the difference in Arena. Single target nukers are good, but they really shine in very specific comps, and if you do have them, you need to build a team around them and their gear specifically. For example, I'll give you a great example, is of course Mountain King, which I do have. He's a good nuking champion. They don't call him a nuke champion. The single targets are called sniping champions, because they can take down one target and basically neutralize the threat. Usually it's going to be Mountain Kings on defense, beating down those Trondas. So let's go over my nukers, and we'll start off with the first ones that I see here in the list. So going down the list is of course my Ethos. He's the one I actually use as a Nightmare Arena farming champion. You can check out my video on that one if you haven't already. His overall stats are like 5,000 attack, more than 5,000, 100% crit, 262 critical damage with, of course, Mastery's Helm Smasher over there. Let's go and I'll show you what he does in Arena. So I mean, it's a Monday. Arena has reset, so I can actually show you versus teams that might not be, the easiest ones to beat. So let me find Ethos here. There it is. This is my usual Arena team, by the way. So I have my proper nuker there. You're gonna see here in a bit. So I just boost, steal their Terminator, just take down that defense, and then the nuking champion goes. So what Ethos has, he actually has an ability that always can be critical. But the thing is, you can't really build him around this because his nuking ability won't go through all the enemies. Even if it's all critical, you go like as much critical damage as possible. Don't care about your crit rate. You want to also have the crit rate to 100%, so you can use his A2, which is like a triple hitting attack, and can also apply a weaken, although the weaken is not really something that you're looking for. So usually you go like an A3 here. Look at that, about 150, a nice solid crit. So this one is going to be like a more tanky team, but still I think we'll take them down with Ethos, like a solid nuker champion. I love the guy for Nightmare farming, honestly. I don't really use him for Arena. I know that some more endgame players are using him, but let's see his A2 here in action. So this one does like a 25k each one of the hits, and then Skullcrown did not knife because well, she's Skullcrown and has the unkillable. So let's go over to the next nuker. So next up in the list is going to be Thea, the Tomb Angel. So Thea does apply a hex on her A1, which is needed for her A2 to do like a proper burst. We'll go in there and see what kind of numbers she can dish out. Unfortunately, I think I'll need to put here a freezing champion because the enemy teams might be a bit too fast for my Thea. She's a bit too slow with those attack percent boots. So I'll kind of have to use like a cheese tactic here and freeze everybody. I'm going to be doing a little bit less damage than usual because of the freeze. 25% less damage. But let's see what Thea does in an enemy team with her A2 without any hex available to actually, you know, increase our damage by at least 50% for 1 hex debuff. So see the A2 here, nothing too crazy, like 50,000. So she honestly needs the hex to be the nuking champion that you're looking for. Okay, and at the moment there's no hex champion in the game that can offer that. You can run a Vizier with her, do something with her A1, apply the hex first. Vizier extends it on everybody, and then when Thea gets a turn, she actually takes it down. But here you see that she doesn't do anything. She was definitely not the champion that everybody was looking for as an alternative nuker for arena when we actually managed to pick her up after 3 months of doing Doom Tower. So let's go over to my next nuking champion in the list. I'm just going through all of them. I mean, who can say anything about Rotos, but he falls into the category of sniping champions. Sniping champions instead of nuking champion. He can single-targetedly take down any kind of target with his A3 and A2. So I won't go over him, but here is Tronda, in my opinion, the #1, and I think everybody's opinion, the #1 nuker in the game. Her A2, some say that it's currently bugged. I haven't tested it myself personally to understand what is exactly bugged about her, but usually she does like tremendous amount of damage with her A2. I've seen her crit for 210,000 with that A2. Look at that, 118,000. And the only reason this guy didn't die was because of the weak kit. But he would have died if I did use my A3, which is her double bursting ability. And that's what makes her so fun to use. Like, this team has a Krisk against you, okay? It has a Krisk. Look at all those shields. We of course remove them because honestly, you can't go without removing them. So here I would just remove all the buffs from everybody, and then Tronda would go with her A3. That's why I have her with a block debuffs buff. She has it from her set, the immunity set. And when I use my A2, even if Krisk is in the team, she won't get the attack down from Krisk. Look at that big burst, takes down everybody. No other nuker honestly could take it down as easily as she does. So here we're getting into the more difficult teams, and I don't want to go against these because these are just gonna make it worse for my weaker nukers for this showcase. So well, not that one, but let's go against this, you know, blender team. My next nuker right here, guys, would probably have to be Ray. Ray is a champion that I actually love using. I love Ray. I love that she is there, and frankly, I think maybe if they did her damage a little bit higher, maybe change something on her, gave her more base accuracy, then I would have been more happier. But look at this. Look at what Ray does. She has a big burst on her A3, which also has a chance to apply a freeze debuff. So look at this. Even if you don't kill everybody, at least some of them will be frozen. If you get a weak hit, then, you know, it can happen. But even if some of them are alive, she also has like a solid A2, which is again a big burst. So on the next fight, we'll try her A2, and you guys are gonna see what it actually does. So next fight, we're gonna do the A2. So Ray's A2 actually does more damage based on if the enemies have debuffs or not. Any kind of debuff works. It doesn't have to be a defense down. Defense down increases your damage anyway. So look at this, attacks all enemies, inflicts 50% more damage against targets under debuffs. So by the way, all the champions that I'm showing you right now, all of them have books in their skills. So you're seeing, well, the maximum potential damage that I have on them with the sets that they have. Most of them have cruel sets. The best sets are on, honestly, my Cadrophone and, okay, who else? My Cadrophone. Oh, I missed Cadrophone, so we'll go back to Cadrophone right now. So I think my Cadrophone and my Tronda and my Ethos have my best sets. So these three. So going back to Cadrophone, I really love to use him on defense because he has a very nice, solid defensive skill set. he does get that Veil buff. And when you pair him with a champion like a Duchess, he becomes very, very deceiving in terms of he can take a hit and then he'll bring it back onto you. So he has this nice passive where he receives 40% less damage while under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff. That is insane. And I used to run him with a with the set that reduces the AoE damage. Forgot the name right now. Sometimes it happens when I'm watching the videos. Stalwart set, yeah. I used to run him with a Stalwart set, but I recently changed him to a different set. I changed him to Cruel sets, and we're gonna see how much damage he does with his A2. Ideally, you would have had him under a Veil buff, so he could also be protected. Unfortunately, this skill doesn't give him an extra turn. It would have been nice if it gave him an extra turn, because he also gains 30% increased critical damage. But his A2, if it does get a kill, he'll also gain an extra turn. So look at this. I'll probably get a kill here. Yeah, we got more than a kill. We got 3 kills. Look at that. He is already protected. He can do this. Increase critical damage for the next time we go in there for a hit. In this scenario, I would have gone probably with just an A1 and take him out, but I just wanted to show that that solid A2. So let's go with a more tanky team here and show Cadrophone again. Cadrophone used to be like one of the worst nukers in the game, but you know, some changes just take them up a notch, and I think that's what all nuking champions need in this game. So here Cadrophone is gonna go and get his nuking going. Let's see, who are we gonna take out? Almost everybody. He gains an extra turn. Let's go in there. Strong hit, 60k, solid damage. So let's go to the next one in the list. So who's the next one here from my nuking champions? We went through Ray. So here are my 4 Cubitius, okay? Haven't done the video just yet, but my stronger Cubitius is here, the one with the sword next to him. So let's go in there and we're gonna see what he can actually do with this kind of set. So the reason that I'm considering him the nuking champions is because I won't be using his sniping ability. He has 2 abilities. He has a sniping ability and he has his A1. So his A1 is an AoE skill and damage increases by 15% if the target has any debuffs. So this is really solid if you want to consider him. But let's just do the A1 first, which is the nuking aspect, which is the one that I wanted to showcase. Look at that. Actually brought them down, but the numbers weren't as high as you might consider because it's an A1 ability. It's a default ability, which works great in Blender kind of setups, but imagine if he had that kind of multipliers on his other skills, which he does have, and they were AoEs, but they're not. His other skills are actually single target. So I'll just showcase the single target potential that a Cubitius can have. So you've probably seen this before. So let's apply defense down. I never use him in arena. So let's go against Arbiter, which is going to be the burst target. So 111k there. Then we get an extra turn because of Relentless, and I just do this. Look at that, easy crits. And we couldn't kill Skullcrown because, well, she's Skullcrown. And let's kill this guy. Take out Skullcrown. There you go. So let's go and take a look on the next Nuker champion here. Let's do a little refresh, get some proper teams here. I wish I had like the 1-person defense teams for my free-to-play account. I just wish I had that. So the next champion in terms of nuking champions, I wouldn't consider him as a nuker champion, but honestly, he needs to be considered as a nuking champion because he does apply bombs. Rarely used, I would say, by many. Not really used anymore. I should have put him in the leader slot actually because he has 33% arena boost. He doesn't need like a defense down with what he does. So what my Lord Shazaar is going to do is just now apply bombs on the enemies that detonate after 2 turns. Decrease the detonation countdown by 1 turn if this attack is critical. So that's why I have him at 100% crit. And you're going to see now that his AoE won't do that much damage, but you can actually increase that with critical damage. What does damage though is his bombs. So look at the bombs now. 1 turn here, 1 bomb here, two bombs here, and no bombs there because probably we didn't even get a normal hit. So there's Arbiter down because of the bombs. Then they get a turn, boom, boom. Everybody's down because of Lord Shazaar bombs. But I again never use him. The bombs meta is not there yet. Maybe with a change to bombs and how they work, we can get a different kind of a different kind of meta with bombing champions, and War Mother being the one in the lead. Maybe my free-to-play account can have some action. So next up is Skullcrown. Skullcrown, I don't even know what kind of gear I have on her right now. I think it's the blender gear. So she barely has any speed, but she does have big amount of stats. So I'll just show you with how I showed you before with like a freezing champion. It's not that this team would have gone first, but just want to show you the potential damage that she can do to a team when you properly build her. There's so many builds that Skullcrown can work on, but the most fun I've had with Skullcrown was in a blender team. You can actually have her with avenging sets, which is the one that you counterattack when you get crit on. You can have her with the life steal set with 0 speed and do some annoying stuff on defense. There's so much stuff that you can do, but look at that, a solid crit there. These targets are so tanky, but I wouldn't consider Skullcrown like under top 5 in my opinion. I think she's a top 5 because of how much well, not top 5, top 10 definitely for me, because if you consider Hegemon and the other ones that I don't have like Foley, then yeah, she can stay in top 5. But for the ones that I do have, I think she's top 5. Definitely, I think there's Tronda, there's Cadrophone, there's Ethos. Well, who else? Yeah, she's definitely top 5. I don't know who number 4 would be. Maybe Cubitius, but I don't use Cubitius, honestly, ever. So, man, come on, kill it. Yeah. So she did a solid amount of damage, even though it didn't seem like it didn't clear the board. But I had to use like a freezing champion just to slow the guys down. But let's see who else I have in terms of epics. There's not many epics that can burst down a champion. There's Zargala, but honestly, Zargala is more used in Gold 3 and Gold 4. Very rarely would you see someone using Zargala in higher tiers. So we'll look at Zargala and then we'll not show any rares, honestly, or even uncommons, because I did showcase an uncommon in the past doing a nuking setup. So you can guys go and check it out. It's Outlander. Search Outlander Cold Brew on YouTube. You're gonna find that video. You're gonna have some fun. So fun watching it. So let me just check what Zargala has in terms of gear. She's got a stun set on, but 100% crit and like 3k attack. Let's just showcase her anyway. Not against the Warlord though. Okay, against this team, which maybe is more reasonable for Zargala. But I just love that she has this potential to bring to the team. So what Zargala brings to a nuking team is that she can actually do her nuking ability without actually going to use her nuking ability. So I'll explain what that means. So her A2 attacks one enemy single target, instantly activates the crack armor skill if the target is killed by this attack. So you usually go to the weak target. So this would be the Ethos. Use your A2 on her and she will instantly activate her A3, which is the big burst. And it's like a solid burst. So try to go here, get a kill there, and then you're gonna see the burst. Look at that, getting a burst on the remaining champion. So if I had like proper sets on her, not a stun set, half a stun set, I would say, because I use her for faction wars, then you would actually see her true potential. So because she used her A2, it means that when she now gets a turn, she'll have her A3 up again, and that's gonna be good because I'll be able to just nuke them down, hopefully. But yeah, the stun set. But she's definitely worth the cruel sets. If you want to use her as your nuker in arena, you will not regret it. I just love that girl, Zargala. I think she is one of the better nukers available. So this was the video, guys, showcasing all my nukers, really ranking them up. As I said, Tronda is my favorite, I would say, and rightfully so. And then hopefully in the future I'll get a Foley and maybe a Hegemon just to fill up my my roster with nuking champions. Which one is your favorite nuking champion, regardless of the damage that they do, and why? Leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear more about it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. Let's get this channel a bit higher. We just passed 25,000 subs, and I want to grow this channel as much as I can. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.